Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Rufus. We're back with another episode of the Rufus Rundown very, very quickly, but also going to be very briefly after the Cam Rogers episode. Just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning into the Cam Rogers episode. If you haven't done that yet, I highly suggest you do. I'm going to have some clips in the coming days for it, too, for anybody who still hasn't gotten a chance to at least see all of it. Really, really impressive stuff with Cam. As usual, really enjoy my conversations with Cam. And again, this one I totally think is worth checking out. I'm going to continue to promote it in the coming days. Also, another guest coming up this week. We're going to have Israel Fatade rejoining at some point as well. Of course, he's the CEO of Know Yourself, and he's very prominent on social media as well. And that's pretty much going to be the topic for discussion and how he started this YouTube and pretty much just social media growth as a whole. And Ryan Quinlan's a Division I athlete at UMass Lowell. I train with him. We have the same trainer in Jared Ansel, and he's a Division I athlete at UMass Lowell. So that'll be another conversation to have with another high-level athlete at the collegiate level. For this brief episode, I just wanted to respond to two phone calls in terms of what they thought were the more impressive wins in the Wildcard weekend round. As we approach the Divisional, by the time this is out, the Divisional round will be later today at 4 o'clock. Or 4:30, I think the start is. And I'm going to go through. I'm going to give my picks. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to over under. We're going to go straight up, and we're going to go money line. Not money line. We're going to go spread. So I'll give my picks. I'm going to respond to these calls. Which one I thought was the more of the impressive wins in the wild card round. Maybe more shocking, impressive, however you want to describe it. But we're going to go through. And we're going to go through those and make our picks, and that's it. I just want to make sure my picks are out here on the record, so when I respond to the divisional round weekend, at least I was on record with this. And I have been incredibly consistent. Again, very appreciative of the sport. If you haven't dropped a like yet, please drop a like on this video. Drop a like on the video that I had with Cam recently as well, too. Be sure to subscribe, too. If you don't have a YouTube account, or if you just don't watch it from the YouTube itself, wherever it may be, please subscribe, please leave good review, however you can support the show, please do. If you're on YouTube, please make a YouTube account, subscribe, and drop a like. Without further ado, we're going to get into the phone calls. We're going to start off with Wade and his thoughts on the most impressive wild card weekend win.
What up, Lucas? Wade again. So I saw your post about what was the most impressive wildcard win. If there had to be a nominee, right, for best wildcard, I'm going to hate to admit it because we know damn well this game should have maybe gone either overtime or the final score should have been 27-24, not 31-24. Yes. I'm talking about the Giants win over the Vikings. Now, I think we all know dang well that Andrew Thomas committed a false start on that second touchdown. I don't know if I'm going blind. I don't know if I'm seeing things. But Darisaw could barely move on a Kirk Cousins sneak on 4th and 1, and that's a false start, though. That's what I don't understand, man. That was just such a bad game to watch, officiating-wise, in my opinion. But otherwise, I don't think they're going to last much longer against the Eagles. I think the Eagles' defense is strong enough to hold them down. Giants had a good, miracle. What is a miracle? Yeah, kind of a miracle run. But I just don't believe in the Giants whatsoever to beat the Eagles, in my opinion. Just let me know what you think about that matchup coming up. Thank you, man.
You'll be completely honest. I'm going to be completely honest. The Giants are one of my more favorite upset picks. Yeah, the false starts not being called the wild card weekend was strange because there was a clear one in the Jacksonville game, right? And that actually might be the most impressive win. I don't know if it's that impressive because the Chargers are just so prone to blowing leads and just choking in big moments. So the Chargers are just prone to those type of moments, right? So I don't know if that's the more shocking. I think the Giants was impressive in terms of it was a pick that I made. The only pick that I had incorrectly was I had the Bucks over the Cowboys. It was a mistake of a pick. It was a wrong pick. And we move on and we live with it. But that Giants-Vikings one I think was impressive. Daniel Jones looks, very, very comfortable under Brian Daboll. Very well could be Coach of the Year. But yeah, I mean, the referees have, missed some calls here or there. Again, you can't totally blame it. That roughing the passer, too, in that game was absolutely miserable. That was not roughing the passer. So, in a sense, I guess, make up, right? I believe the roughing the passer was on the Giants on that final drive, right? To extend it, the yellow flag extending the game. It is rigged, as people like to believe. But, yeah, no, officiating not there. I don't... Here's the thing. The Giants are one of my favorite picks to go and upset the Eagles this week. I'm not sure. I think... I mean, I'll make my picks. I will tease my picks with that. I'm not going to tell you who I think it was. But they are... I am a fan of this Giants team. I am a fan of the run they are on. And I very well could see them as an NFC championship team. And I think a lot of people do. Considering, while the Eagles are trying to get healthy... I don't know what kind of rhythm they're going to be in to play this football game. But again, I'm teasing the picks a little bit. Wade, buddy, appreciate your call a ton. I appreciate your support a ton. But yeah, the officiating is obviously totally inconsistent. And Joey Bosa was going absolutely bananas about it. In his game, considering the guy did false start. And yeah, you could say this. A false start is a false start. So... but if they miss it, it's just strange because they give them the little flinch. I'm a D lineman, so my sympathy there, a little different. I side with the guys that how they don't call it. When they do call even the slightest flinch, like I'm flying because I'm reading this. So you're always reading. You're taught to read your key and read a certain part of the body. So anytime that movement happens, they should be flying. We're not going off sound. We're going off of visual keys. And if your visual key moves, you take off. So even those slightest flinches, if that's in that area of what you're keying, yeah, you're going to explode off the football. So yeah, you need consistency in those false start calls. Obviously, this weekend it was prevalent that the consistency is definitely a little off. But again, appreciate your call. I will address... once I listened to the second call, I'll address which I thought the most impressive win of Wildcard Weekend was. And also, I'll give you some insight to my picks coming up. But we're going to go to the phone lines for the second voicemail next.
What's up, Lucas? This is Casey. And I got to say, the most impressive win of the weekend has to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. For a young, inexperienced team to come back from a 27-0 deficit and win, how can you not be impressed? Trevor Lawrence having his coming out party, throwing 4 picks in the first half, and having the fortitude to come back and have that second half that he had, it's really impressive. I could really see next week Jacksonville taking some risks in the first half, Doug Peterson pulling out the playbook and trying to get Kansas City off their feet and pull off that upset. We'll see. But Jacksonville, definitely a team to look out for. And that was definitely the most impressive win of the weekend. Thanks, man.
Casey, appreciate the call, brother. Totally agree. This was my win of the weekend. Again, is it impressive? My thing was, is it impressive because the Chargers are just so prone to doing shit like this. But at the end of the day, that should not knock the greatness that we saw in that second half in the Jacksonville Jaguars. That end of first half score really turned out to be big because they kind of put something together, put a little bit together. And those points obviously turned out to be monumental. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence looked awful. And I had some takes out there. This guy stinks. He looked brutal. They didn't age well. But I also, if anybody has me on Snapchat, also did. It was 30-14, and I said this. I started to get this feeling, this vibe, and then Casey the caller. I was texting Casey throughout this. I had this vibe at 30-14 that it was just here we go. Chargers are gonna gag this, and they absolutely did. They have -2 rushing yards in the second half, and it wasn't even for like, they weren't even making an effort at running the ball. So just strange. But again, down with the MO of the not Los Angeles Chargers. But yeah, with the team that Jacksonville has, Trent Baalke looking like a genius, with Kirk, Ingram looking good. They trade away James Robinson, ETN's looking good. Trevor Lawrence obviously, came into his own there in the second half. And again, this is again to tease a little bit of my picks. This is something that I see certainly leading into a possible Jacksonville upset. Of course, I thought the Niners win was kind of impressive too, considering that it's a division game in the playoffs, and they were trailing at halftime, and they had to come back as well against the division opponent. So the halftime adjustments by Kyle Shanahan I thought were very impressive. Bills win was good. Same with the Bengals. And those are against backup quarterbacks, third-string quarterbacks, and everybody's up in the air. But I'm like, they should be dominating. Listen, there's a lot of film. You see these guys twice a year for pretty much your whole existence at this point now. At least consistency for the last time. There's so much film, so many things. Like Doug Peterson, you talk about digging the playbook, dude. Brought out not wing T, the T formation. It's like the inception of football playbook. He brought it out and it picked him up a big, huge first down. So, yeah, guys are digging into the playbook. They have to get creative. Doug Peterson's one of those guys, but also, some great defensive plays. That Bengals, like the scoop and score, the punch out and score on the goal line. Call that a championship play. And Bengals could very well be a championship football team. But yeah, Jacksonville, certainly, I think, the most impressive win over the weekend. That huge comeback, incredibly entertaining, even though the broadcast crew wasn't exactly totally supportive. Totally supportive of that. On the other hand, the Bengals-Ravens game, those guys were going ballistic. So they more or less, a lot of complaints about the announcing when it came to the Jacksonville game with the Chargers. But again, I think they were just kind of like, they kind of knew that this is what the Chargers were going to do all along. I'm not saying that it's scripted or anything like that, but just saying in general that it should just, I don't think it surprised anybody that the Chargers blew a lead like that. And yeah. I thought Sean Payton was already going to be on the phone for an interview. Like, I would have just fired the guy 34. Like, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's just, man, I just hope that Justin Herbert isn't in his Phillip Rivers run where it's just going to be, this guy's got so much talent, they go to the playoffs and they just never accomplish anything, because it's an incredibly talented Chargers team, but just some poor decisions down the road and just a terrible second half performance from that football team all around. But yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars have to influence that poor play with their strong play, which they did. So it was a fantastic win for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now we're going to roll into the picks for the weekend. Of course, only one incorrect. I've been very good to end the season. I was in a pool, won that pool. Not won the whole pool, but I won the week 18 of the pool. I went 13-3 against spread what we had in the sheet. We've been good. We've been consistently good. The first round of playoffs, I mean, one incorrect pick straight up. I didn't pick spreads. We're picking spreads today and doing over-unders today. And we're going to pick money line. So here we go. Cue the music. We got Jags Chiefs to kick us off tomorrow at 4:30. Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, -9, 52.5 the over-under. Taking Jacksonville straight up Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville comes out with the upset. I think they're 6-1 in the last 7. They are one of the hottest. Well, they're the hottest team left in football, I think. Maybe make an argument for the 49ers have won, like 10 in a row. So you have a couple of arguments to make to the Bills and make it too. But I just, the Jags, man. The Jags turn it up. I like the Jags straight up. I like the under. And obviously the Jags will cover that 9 points bet if I'm taking them straight up. Giants, Eagles to follow. Divisional game in the divisional round. Giants come off that big upset over the Minnesota Vikings. If you want to call it an upset, I think the most fraudulent team in the playoffs was the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to take the Giants outright to upset the Eagles. Again, listen, it would not shock me to see it happen, so that's why I'm taking Giants outright. I'm going to take the I'm going to take the over in this one in a shootout. Take the over under is 48. I'm going to take the over in this one, but the Giants to win it straight up and cover that spread. Bengals, Bills, kicking us off at 3 o'clock on Sunday. This is the rematch from the DeMar Hamlin game. I've been saying Bills for so long. Bills in the Super Bowl. And there's just something about the vibe with this game and this Bengals team. It's in Orchard Park, New York. Listen, I'm going to roll Bengals in this one. Bengals taking all dogs to win. This is going to end miserably for me. This is going to end miserably for me. And the only watch, I will pick those 3 wrong. I'll pick the favorite, the 49ers, the next one. Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm going to go with my gut. A lot of times I stick with what my prediction is to make sure I stay right. And this is going against my entire original bracket, which I still might end up being right on. You can stick to that because I started off hot. Only with one incorrect pick, and that was the Bucs over the Cowboys. And it wouldn't go that much further because I still had the 49ers beating them anyways. I got the Bengals outright. I got the over in this game. Bengals outright and the cover the spread. Cowboys, 49ers. Give me the 49ers. It's -4. It's -4. I'm going to take the 49ers to win and cover and the under. Win, cover, under. So I took the under with Jacksonville and KC. What did I say? Did I say over? I took the over with the Giants Eagles. I took the over with this. I think so. 2 unders, 2 overs. We split it. I'm taking one favorite to win and cover, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy continuing to do his thing. I don't know if Dak Prescott can have back-to-back performances at that high of a level, but of course, Cowboys put a tremendous performance against that. That's another impressive win. I mean, any win in the playoffs really becomes impressive, right? Maybe not with the backup quarterbacks, but that was a legitimate win against the Tom Brady-led team. Tom Brady might be old. It might be a different team. They might not play at that high level. End of the day, you beat Tom Brady in the playoffs on the road. You have to be very happy with that. And it certainly gives the Cowboys a lot of confidence. It would not shock me to see Cowboys, Giants, and then Bills, Chiefs in the AFC either. That's my other little thing there. Listen, I'm rolling with those picks. Hopefully they hold up. But also, I have my original bracket too that I could make myself look like a genius with. So you can roll with whichever you want because I had a very good opening week. So you can stick with these picks because I'm just getting the last picks. Or you can stick with my original bracket that I set up and keep running with that. Either way, I think you're going to be good off. So, well, not really either way because I kind of just went opposite. But, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you decide to do, have confidence. I've been pretty good as of late. One of these will be incorrect, but I just roll with you. A little bit of gut, a little bit of faith. Again, I think traditionally it's more like the under and the favorites in the divisional round. If I'm not mistaken. There's one underdog on the poll through. If I had to pick a favorite underdog, probably going to take the Giants. I don't know if the Eagles are going to be able to find their rhythm in this game. But, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. But like I said, Jacksonville outright, New York outright, the Bengals outright, and then the 49ers to win and cover. And that's how we're looking at it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, brief episode, probably going to be around like the 20-minute mark. If you guys can see in the background, I'm going to duck down. Be back in the background there. Those are not the final resting places for those, but I have a ton of frames, a ton of pictures. I have the Mike All-Star autograph thing. Shout out Chris Santos for that. Finally getting it up there. I'm gonna try and get Chris Santos on for a Super Bowl special. I think we can do that. But anyways, this backdrop is gonna be decorated, and you're gonna have some really, really cool things in the backdrop there. When you're watching. Addition, and I think a lot of them speak to me. So, again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't yet liked the video, please do, and drop a subscription as well and comment too. Anything you want to see. Of course, that call-in text line is always open for any sports take you have, and I'll address it. If you want to go ballistic during game, if you bet $250 on a team and they blow it on some wild, crazy last play, I'm a Saints fan. I understand. I didn't bet money, but just pain. Listen, all of it is acceptable. I will respond to it on the air. I have a lot of fun with it. We all have a lot of fun with it, and I appreciate the interaction, and it makes the show that much better. So please call, text in, leave a voicemail. I want to start getting to live shows as well. And if you haven't checked out that episode with Cam Rogers as well too, going to continue to promote that out. I'm also going to have posts that have questions for Ryan Quinlan and Israel Patade, who are coming up on the show as well. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like and subscribe. It's your boy Rufus, signing off.